videos.
Yeah.
So it's time, huh?
Excuse me, it's time.
Excuse me, it's time. All right. Hello, welcome, good evening. The Master of Time has declared it's time. We have Lane with us, who went to Krieger Schechter and then went to Harvard.
Really
And now is here and baking bread. Wow. And he's going to lead us in Ashrei. He was telling us about his grandfather, whom I knew, and special sweet man. And of course, Jerry.
Yours or mine?
Um,
I'm going to try it again.
okay. We have page 164. Do you know, can you find the Ashrei in your Aleph class, Siddur? There you go. Okay. So we have the honor of hearing you. Just take your time. Ashrei Yoshrei Veitecha. Good?
Yoshrei Veitecha, Od Yechalucha Selah, Ashrei Ha'am Shekacha Lo, Ashrei Ha'am Shadonai Elohav, Tehillah LeDavid. Aromimcha Elohai HaMelech, Vavracha Shimcha Leolam Va'ed, V'chol Yom Avarchecha, V'alelah Shimcha Leolam Va'ed. Gadol Adonai Hulal Meod, U'ligdulato En Cheker, Dor LeDor Yeshabach Ma'asecha, U'gvurotecha Yagidu. Hadar kavod hodecha, v'divrei niflotecha asicha, ve'ezuz noratecha yomeru, ugdulatcha asat prena, zecherav tuvcha yabiu, v'tzidkatcha yeranenu. Chanun verachum Adonai, erech hapayim ugdal chased, tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav, yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasitecha yevarchucha, Kevod malchutecha yomeru, ugvuratcha yedaberu, lehodia livnei hadan gvurotav, ukvod hadar malchuto, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor vador, somech Adonai lechol hanoflim, vezokef lechol hakfufim, einecho lecha yesaberu, ve'ata noten lachem et ochlam beito, פותח את ידיך ומשפיע לכל חי רצון, צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו וחסיד בכל מעשיו, קרוב אדוני לכל קורב, לכל אשר יקראו באמת, רצון יראיו יעשה ואת שבתם ישמע ויושיעם, שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו ואת כל הרשעים ישמיד, תהילת אדוני ידבר פיו, ויברך כל בשר שם קדשו לעולם ועד. ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם, hallelujah.
Outstanding. That was beautiful, Lane. You know, anytime you come to us, Ashrei is yours. How's that? That's pretty far out. You know, I usually ask people what they learned from the person that they're observing the Yortzeit for, and the question that I ask is, tell us one thing that you learned from your father, your mother, your family member, but you have to unmute yourself, Lane, and tell us what you learned from your grandfather.
I learned from my grandfather, I learned about being enthusiastic about anything anybody in my family's doing, being excited for everybody. I learned about I learned that it's always worth the time to strike up a conversation with somebody. He was always finding himself in conversations with strangers in random places where we would go with him. And that always ended well. And I also learned from him that I learned how to strike up some business when you have no business. You just got to call everybody. That was how he started his business.
That's great. I'll vote for you anytime, Lane. Thank you so much. It's so, so sweet of you. And I'm going to ask my dear friend Sandy one thing that you learned from Barry, who is very much in our hearts and minds.
Well, I learned a lot from Barry because he was always so interested in so very many things. He always felt like he was the luckiest person in this world, and that had the domino effect because everybody he was around felt that blessing and that gratitude. And one thing that he always felt really proud of, first of all, his family, and within that family, a Shem Tov, that was really important to him. And I think that's his legacy, having a good name with his immediate family, his extended family. And I think we can all be proud, and he would be so happy with his legacy. And I'm just so sorry he didn't get to see his great grandson last night that Shelley brought on the Zoom. But he was named after him, Bora Dov. So
Well, Sandy, I have to tell you, I believe, that's just me, that he very much sees him and he's very much present. And as
I agree with you.
there you go. Is that
I
beautiful?
totally agree with you.
There we go. We'll talk about that some other time. But before we serve breakfast, I'm going to ask my good friend and teacher and master and protector and angel, Dr. Rabbi Paul Schneider. You are here. I imagine you have Yortzeit. And would you consider being kind enough to lead us in the Arvit service?
Sure, with pleasure. With
Thank
pleasure.
you, sir. We're on page 200. We rise for.
Moshe, we have not done Kaddish
No, you're right.
the afternoon.
See that? Can't ever leave me alone anywhere. Get me dressed up and go, but that's about it. And so, indeed, how right you are. We recall with love those who gave us life and those who shared life with us, whose Yortzeit is the 20th of Adar, Thursday, March the 4th, 2021. The following names are listed in our perpetual memorials at Chizuk Amuno Congregation, but they are indeed inscribed in our hearts, in our minds, and our souls. Jesse Baker, Henry Cohen, Isidore Frank, Joseph Goldstein, Jonas Greenblatt, Ernest Jandorf, Ethel Klein, Barry Lever, Lily Levy, Clara Manikin, Jacob Rosenblum, Solomon Sandler, Minnie Schimmel, Doris Schwartz, Abraham Schwartzman, Charles Voloshin, Mary Weiner, Toby Wiseman, and we also recall Leila Goldberg and Daniel Jonoff. With love, we recall the Kaddish on page 198. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, אמן. יהי שני מבורך לעולם היה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתפאר ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירה בעלמה ואמו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמו אמן. יעשה שלום עממה, והוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמו amen. And now, indeed, thank you for helping me out to do what needs to be done. We're indeed very much honored to have Rabbi Dr. Paul Schneider lead us in the Arvit service. On page 200, we rise v'huachom.
V'achum yechaper v'lo yashchit, v'herabal hashiva po v'lo yerko chamato, Adonai Hoshea Malchianeinu Yom Kareinu, Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMavarach,
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vaed.
May be seated, page 200.
Elchevekayam tamid yimlach aleinu le'olam v'ed baruch atah Adonai hamari barabim.
Amen. The bottom of 200.
Kim chayenu v'yarech yameinu v'hem negeh yamam v'layla v'yavatcha taser mimenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai
Shema.
Evamo Yisrael.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha, v'hayu hadarim ha'ele. Asher anochi metzavecha, hayom alevavecha, Vishinantam lefanecha v'dibartam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha letecha v'derech, v'shaftecha v'kumecha, v'shartam leot ayadecha, v'hayilat tafot bein einecha, v'ketavtam, amezuzot beitecha, v'isharecha, v'haya'im shamoa.
We're in the middle of page 202.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael v'yamarta aleihem v'yasu lehem tzitzit al kanfei vigdehem ledorotam v'dadu al tzitzit hakanaf betel techelet v'hayalechem letzitzit v'ritem oto v'schartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam v'lo taturu acharei levavchem v'acharei nechem asher atem zonim achareihem leman tiskuru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai Yitem kedoshim leElohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem leElohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
I'm going to ask Sandy, would you read in English the middle paragraph on page 205, please? You have to unmute yourself, please. We affirm the truth.
We affirm the truth that he is our God, that there is no other, and that we are his people Israel. He redeems us from the power of kings, delivers us from the hand of all tyrants. He brings judgment upon our oppressors, retribution upon all our mortal enemies. He performs wonders beyond understanding, marvels beyond all reckoning. He has maintained us among the living. He has not allowed our steps to falter. He guided us to triumph over mighty foes, exalted our strength over all our enemies. He vindicated us with miracles before Pharaoh, with signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. In wrath, he smote all of Egypt's firstborn, bringing his people to lasting freedom. He led his children through divided waters as their pursuers sank in the sea. When his children beheld his might, they sang in praise of him, gladly accepting his sovereignty. Moses and the people Israel sang with great joy to the Lord.
U'malchuta b'ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe v'nei Yisrael achanu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamru kulam. Yichamocha v'elim Adonai mikamocha nedor b'kodesh nara tehillah rosefecha. Malchutecha rufanecha b'kayam lifnei Moshe ze elianu v'yamru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'nemar kifad Adonai Yaakov v'golam yad chazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai goal Yisrael.
Amen. Sandy, please, on the top of 207.
I'd be so happy to, because this is one of my very favorite prayers.
Well, I'm thrilled to hear you.
Help us, our Father, to lie down in peace and awaken us to life again, our King. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. You, O God, guard us and deliver us. You are a gracious and merciful King. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace, now and always. Praised are you, Lord, eternal guardian of your people, Israel.
Shkoyach.
ושמוצאתנו לחיים ולשלום את אביד עולם, ברוך אתה אדוני, שמור ישראל לעד.
Amen.
ברוך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן.
We're in the middle of 206. 206.
לכבוד אדוני ולנשמח ולמסע. כי גדול אתה ויוסף נפלא אתה אלוהים לבדך. Continuing on 208. ברוך אדוני ביום, ברוך אדוני בלילה, ברוך אדוני בשכבנו, ברוך אדוני וקומנו. כי המלכות שלך היא ומעטים לך בכבוד, כי אין לנו מלך אלא אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני.
Shemo.
מלך בכבודו תמיד ימלך לעולם ועד ועל כל מעשיו.
Amen. We
יתגדל
rise.
ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ימוד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וימיכון ובחייך בית ישראל, וכל זמן קריב יאמרו אמן.
Amen. Yishmir Abba Borach Le'olam Omer Maya.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קדושה ברכו. אמן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא. יאמרו אמן.
Silent Amidah, pages 210 through 220. We speak directly to God in silence, quietly to God.
I continue on page 222. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמוד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחייך בית ישראל, בגלו בזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעולם לעולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קדושה. ולעולם מכל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה תמירון מיומה ויאמרו אמן. תקבל סלותם לכון לך ישראל קטן אבוהון לישמעיה ויאמרו אמן. יש שלום ברבה מן שמעיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. שלום במרומו ויעשה שלום. Eloheinu v'al kol Yisrael yimeru. Amen. Aleinu l'shabayach la'adon ha'kol. Adei gdula li'oseh b'reishit. Shelo asara k'gai haratzot. V'lo samanu k'mishpachar ha'adama. Shelo sam chalkeinu kahen. V'gahar aleinu k'chol hamonam. V'anachnu kodim. Nishtachvim v'omdim. Lifnei malach malachei hamalachim. Akadosh Baruch Hu. Let the shamayim v'yosef. Okay, nekaveh lechon Eloheinu. Kakatu b'toratech Adonai yimloch le'olam v'eda v'ne'emar v'ya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz v'yamahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
I imagine Dr. Schneider knows that I was going to ask that he say a word to us, the Minyan people, because we love you and your wisdom and teaching is truly a guiding light to me and my life. And you are observing Yortzeit for your mother of blessed memory?
I am.
All right. Would you please, Dr. Schneider?
Al regel echad.
Yes.
Al regel echad. Whenever I think of my mother, I think of her unconditional love. And that's the most important gift that I received from her. And that's a gift that I have used in my own life with regard to my own children. It's so easy to be angry. It's so easy to hold a grudge. It's so easy to have a million and one reasons why one would not love one's parents, even for a moment. But when it comes to my mom, there's only one feeling I have, and that's gratitude. And that's because of the way that she raised me with unconditional love. So that's the one thing I'd like to share tonight. Thank you, Moshe.
It's from the heart to the heart, Dr. Schneider. Your teachings for us, for me, are truly, they split the water and let me go through. So I testified and I confessed to everyone, and it's admissible in court. We recall with love those who gave us life and those who share life with us still now today, whose Yortzeit is the 21st of Adar, Friday of Shabbat, March 5th, 2021. Following names are inscribed in our hearts and our souls and are listed in perpetual memorials at Chizuk Amuno Congregation. Samuel Asbel, Harry Benish, Jack Kaplan, Gershon Kaplan, Anna Eisenstein, Bess Feder, Gilbert Finkelstein, Dora Greenspan, Bernard Hamburger, Elsie Harrison, Bernard Handler, Leo Jackman, Sarah Katz, Hertz Oppenheim, Arnold Plant, Irvin Pollack, Jean Satisky, Sarah Schneider, Cecilia Schwaber, Nathan Schwartz, Solomon Strauss, Samuel Tilson, Henry Wolf. Jeffrey, who did I miss? Okay. Yortzeit and Mourner's Kaddish is page 226, and I'm going to ask Dr. Schneider to lead us.
Yitgadal, Yitkadash Merabah,
Amen.
Yamad Ivrachi Rutei, Yamlit Bachutei, V'chayechon of Yamechon, V'chayei L'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agala Uvizman Kariv Yimramein.
Amen.
Eish Merabah Nevarach, V'lom Al Me'al Ma'yah. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yitramam V'yitnasei V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemeta Kudishat L'richu
Richu.
Le'elam Minko Birchata V'shirata תשבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בימה ויאמרו אמן.
Amen.
יהי שלומה רבה מן שמיה לחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen.
Amen. Amen. I thank you, Dr. Schneider, and I'm sure we all thank you for the treasure that you are in our midst, truly enlightening our lives and the years and the holidays and so forth. Please, God, watch over us, bring us protection and health and healing, and especially to the Pollocks, whose yahrzeit for Irvin, Dr. Irvin, is also a very special place in our heart. And how fortunate we are to share life together in holiness and sacred community. Tomorrow morning at 7:30 and tomorrow night is Erev Shabbat. Shabbos is coming. Thank you. Good night. God be with you. Thank you.